Welcome to the AI Coach by Anil Nathu. Today we're doing a deep dive into First Principles AI.
Okay.
It's this really interesting new approach to AI that's kind of shaking things up.
Yeah.
Instead of just relying on data,
Mm-hmm.
it brings in these fundamental laws from science,
Yeah.
and knowledge from specific fields.
Right.
So it's like giving AI this solid foundation in the real world.
Yeah.
So it's not just, making predictions from correlations, but really understanding those systems it's working with.
Absolutely.
And we have an expert with us to help us unpack all of this.
Happy to be here.
So let's start with the why.
Okay.
Why is this shift to First Principles AI such a big deal?
Well, I think traditional AI, it's hit a few roadblocks.
Yeah.
It can be kind of brittle sometimes, meaning
Yeah.
it works great in situations it's familiar with,
Right.
but then it encounters something new and it just falls apart.
It just doesn't know what to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Imagine a self-driving car that's only been trained on sunny days.
Right.
And then suddenly there's a snowstorm. That's brittleness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then another issue is the whole black box problem.
Yeah. What is that?
So, with traditional AI, we often can't explain why it makes a certain decision. And that can make it hard to trust,
Yeah, especially in those really important fields.
Exactly, where
Yeah.
the stakes are high.
Right.
So yeah, those are some of the limitations.
Okay, so it sounds like First Principles AI is trying to solve those problems by making models that are more robust and transparent.
Exactly.
We can actually see what's going on.
Yeah, and by doing that, it offers some, significant advantages.
Like what?
For one, the accuracy and reliability go way up.
Oh, wow.
Especially when you're dealing with complex systems.
What?
And then also because it's using, existing knowledge,
Okay.
it often needs a lot less training data.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is a huge win in areas where data is scarce or expensive.
Yeah, like medical research.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a great example.
Things like that.
So it's kind of like teaching someone to fish instead of just giving them the fish.
Yeah.
So they could apply that knowledge to different situations.
Absolutely.
But the part that I think is really intriguing is the improved explainability.
Yeah.
Like you were saying.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Because by grounding AI in principles that we can understand, we can actually follow its reasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see why it makes certain choices.
So we can trust it more.
Exactly. And that's essential for building trust, especially in fields like, healthcare or finance.
Right. Where a wrong decision can be really bad.
Yeah, it can have major consequences.
For our listeners, think about the impact this could have.
Yeah, it's huge.
It was from designing safer self-driving cars to developing personalized medicine. We're talking about revolutionizing entire industries.
It's really exciting.
Are we already seeing real-world applications of this?
Oh, absolutely. Where it's making waves in engineering, for example,
Right.
By modeling systems based on physics. Engineers can create these virtual prototypes and test out different designs so much faster and cheaper
Right.
than using traditional methods.
Wow.
And then in healthcare first principles, AI is being used to develop these more accurate diagnostic tools.
Interesting.
Imagine a tool that can simulate how a patient's heart responds to different medications,
Wow.
based on their own physiology.
That's personalized medicine at its best.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's already happening.
Those are some incredible examples. It's how this approach can be used in so many different areas.
Yeah, it's very versatile.
But I'm sure there must be some challenges too, right?
Of course.
In implementing this.
Yeah, one major hurdle is the need for collaboration.
Okay.
Building these models
Yeah.
requires experts from all sorts of different fields, like physicists, mathematicians, computer scientists,
Wow.
domain specialists, all working together.
So it's like putting together a dream team,
Yeah,
but with people who speak totally different scientific languages.
exactly.
Yeah. That sounds pretty challenging.
It can be.
Okay, what else?
And then there's the computational power that you need.
Oh, right.
Simulating these complex systems using first principles.
Yeah,
It can be very demanding.
I can imagine.
You need powerful hardware and sophisticated algorithms.
Yeah. It could be a barrier for some organizations.
Yeah, especially for smaller startups or research groups.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a resource issue sometimes.
And if we're going to really rely on these systems,
Right.
we need to be able to trust them.
Absolutely.
So what about validating these new AI models?
That's another challenge.
Yeah.
We still need standardized ways to test and evaluate them
Okay.
to make sure they're reliable and trustworthy.
So are we there yet?
It's still early days in terms of the infrastructure and best practices for that.
Okay, so it sounds like there's a lot of potential here,
Huge potential.
but also some challenges that we need to overcome.
Yeah, it's an exciting time
It really is.
for AI.
So for those who are like really excited about this and they want to explore first principles AI
Yeah.
further, where do they even begin?
Well, I think the first step is to identify the right use cases.
Okay.
Start with problems where this approach offers like a clear advantage.
So don't just jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
Because it's the new shiny thing.
Exactly. Be strategic
Okay.
about where you apply it.
Good advice.
And then next, build a multidisciplinary team.
Okay, like we were talking about.
Yeah, bring together the best minds from those relevant fields
Makes sense.
to cover all the bases. And then don't forget to invest in training.
Training.
Yeah, equip your teams with the knowledge and skills to develop and implement these models effectively.
Right, so there are paths for people to like upskill themselves in this area.
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
There are a lot of resources available now,
Oh, that's great.
like online courses, workshops, even conferences specifically on First Principles AI.
Oh, wow. So there's a lot of support out there.
Yeah, a growing community.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What about partnering up with others already working in this space?
Yeah, that's another great option.
Okay.
Like collaborating with research institutions or vendors specializing in First Principles AI, it can give you access to valuable expertise and resources.
So you don't have to do it all alone.
Exactly.
That's good to know.
And there's a whole ecosystem of companies now working in this space.
Oh, wow.
From those offering tailored solutions for specific industries like engineering and material science
Okay.
to those focused on like industrial operations and resource optimization.
So there's a lot of activity happening.
There's a lot going on.
It's an exciting field to be in right now.
Yeah, it really is.
So listeners of the AI Coach by Anil Nathu,
Yeah.
what stands out to you about all this?
I'm curious too.
Do any of these applications resonate with you?
What are your thoughts?
What questions does this raise for you?
Yeah, let us know.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to think about how this shift to First Principles AI might impact different industries.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's not just about, improving existing AI systems,
Right.
but it's like changing how we think about AI's role, like in the world.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like we're moving beyond just the buzzwords, and really focusing on those core principles that make AI actually work.
Yeah.
It's a shift from like solely relying on data
Right.
to actually integrating scientific knowledge and like a deeper understanding of the systems that we're trying to model.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah.
It's not just about better predictions.
Right.
It's about gaining like a deeper understanding of how things actually work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI that can understand cause and effect,
Mm-hmm.
explain its decisions in a way that we can actually grasp
Yeah.
and operate reliably in those like really complex situations.
Yeah. And those qualities become even more important as AI becomes, more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing AI in healthcare, finance, transportation.
Everywhere.
Everywhere the stakes are getting higher, and the need for transparency and trust is just paramount.
So important.
Yeah.
Yeah. First principles AI isn't just about making the technology better.
Right.
It's about making sure we're using it ethically and responsibly.
Exactly.
That's such a crucial point, and it's something we need to think about from the very beginning,
Yeah.
not like as an afterthought.
Not an afterthought, for sure.
Yeah.
It's got to be built in.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's almost like we're giving AI like a moral compass.
Interesting.
Grounding it in the same principles that we value as humans.
That's a great way to put it. So to all the listeners of the AI Coach by Anil Nathu,
Yeah.
if you're working with AI or just interested in like the ethical implications of it, First principles AI is something you should definitely keep your eye on.
Absolutely. It's a rapidly evolving field.
Yeah.
And it has the potential to really reshape the future of AI.
It really does.
Like profoundly.
It boils down to building AI that isn't just intelligent,
Right.
but also understandable, reliable, and aligned with human values.
You got it.
We touched on some specific vendors in the last segment.
Yeah.
What are some of the common threads that you're seeing among those who are like at the forefront of this field?
Well, one thing that really stands out is their commitment to like bridging the gap between different disciplines.
Okay.
Like they're bringing together experts in AI, physics, mathematics, and all these like domain-specific fields to
Wow.
create these models.
So it's really a collaborative effort.
It is. It's very collaborative.
It's like they're building these interdisciplinary think tanks.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
That's really cool.
It is.
What about their approach to research and development?
There's a strong emphasis on both theoretical advancements and practical applications.
Right.
Like many of these companies are investing a lot in developing new algorithms and techniques that can effectively integrate scientific knowledge into AI systems.
So they're pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly.
Wow.
And at the same time, they're like actively working on real-world applications.
Oh.
Across various industries, from engineering and material science to healthcare and environmental science.
So they're not just focused on the how,
Right.
but also the why.
Yeah, the why is so...
Why this technology matters.
Yeah, why does it matter?
And how it can solve real problems.
Exactly. They're very mission-driven.
That's great.
Yeah.
And are they aware of the ethical considerations as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Many of them are very actively involved in discussions and initiatives that are focused on developing guidelines
Okay.
and best practices for responsible development and deployment of this technology.
That's really encouraging to hear.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
That's a sign that the industry is taking these issues seriously.
They are.
So for someone who's listening to the AI Coach by Anil Nasu, and they're intrigued by all of this, what are some ways they can get involved or learn more?
Well, there are a few different avenues they could explore.
Okay, like what?
One is to delve deeper into the technical aspects.
Okay.
There are tons of online courses, tutorials, research papers available that can give you a more in-depth understanding of the algorithms and techniques and principles.
So for the more technically inclined, there's a wealth of information out there.
There's a lot out there.
What about for those who may not have a technical background, but are still interested in this field?
There's plenty of resources for them too.
Okay, good.
Several books and articles provide a really good high-level overview of First Principles AI and its potential impact on different industries and society as a whole.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and attending industry conferences and webinars can also be a great way to stay up to date on the latest developments.
Right, and to connect with people.
And to connect with experts. Yeah.
That's great.
Network a little bit.
So there's something for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless of their background.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
It is.
What about getting involved in actual projects or research?
Oh, yeah. There are definitely opportunities for that.
Like how?
Many research institutions and companies are actively looking for talented people with diverse backgrounds to contribute to their First Principles AI initiatives.
Yeah.
And joining online communities and forums dedicated to AI and machine learning can also provide, valuable insights and networking opportunities.
So there are definitely ways for our listeners to get involved, learn more, and potentially even contribute to this field.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
It is.
But for now, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about something that's been on my mind throughout this whole conversation.
Okay, what's that?
We've talked a lot about the potential benefits and challenges of First Principles AI.
Right.
But what about the bigger picture?
Yeah.
What does this shift towards First Principles AI really mean for the future of AI as a whole?
That's a great question.
What kind of future are we shaping here?
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a thought-provoking question.
We've talked about, the technical aspects, the applications, the ethical stuff, and all the collaboration.
Right.
It's a lot.
It is a lot to process.
Yeah.
If I had to sum it up, though, I'd say First Principles AI is all about moving from AI that just predicts to AI that really understands.
Yeah.
It's bridging that gap between data-driven approaches and what we actually know about the real world.
And by doing that, we're not just creating AI that's more powerful and reliable, but it's also more transparent,
yes,
accountable, and aligns with our values.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Imagine a future where AI can help us solve these really complex challenges like climate change.
Oh, wow.
Disease, resource scarcity.
Yeah, those big ones.
But it does so in a way that we understand.
Right.
And that we trust and that we can actively participate in.
Yeah. That's a really compelling vision.
It is.
And it feels like it's becoming more and more possible because of these advancements.
Yeah.
But any powerful tool it comes with responsibility.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure that it's developed and used ethically,
Yes.
for the benefit of everyone.
Of course. For good, not for bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why these conversations are so important,
Yeah.
like raising awareness, encouraging people to think critically about this technology.
And it's exactly what we try to do here on the AI Coach by Anil Nathu,
That's right.
to give our listeners the knowledge and insights they need to navigate this crazy world of AI.
It's changing so fast.
Yeah, it really is.
It's exciting to be a part of it, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
As we wrap up this deep dive on first principles AI,
Okay.
what's the one key takeaway you want listeners to remember? I think the biggest thing is that first principles AI, it's not just a technological evolution. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like a whole paradigm shift.
Wow.
It's about reimagining how humans and AI interact.
Interesting.
Moving from this control relationship to one that's more collaborative.
Yeah.
And about shared understanding.
So we're working together.
Yeah, we're in it together.
Not against each other.
Right. It's about empowering AI to be a force for good in the world.
I love it. That's a really powerful message, and I hope it stays with our listeners.
Me too.
So to everyone tuning in to the AI Coach by Anil Nathu today,
thanks for joining us.
thank you for joining us on this journey.
It's been fun.
This is just the beginning, though.
Oh, yeah, just the start.
The world of AI is constantly changing,
Always evolving.
and First Principles AI is leading the way.
It's at the forefront.
So stay curious, stay engaged,
Stay informed.
and if you want to learn more,
Yes.
visit the AI Coach website for more AI insights by Anil Nathu.
Thank you for joining us today. Visit the AI Coach website for more AI insights by Anil Nathu.